Alrighty, my friends, welcome back to Salt City Counseling. Once again, my name is Scott. I'm a licensed therapist here in the beautiful state of Utah. I hope you guys are doing good out there. Hope your mental health is doing okay. In this episode, I'm going to continue my series on treating your own mental illness, sort of learning how to be your own therapist, doing your own work. Okay, this series is really kind of dedicated to walking you through how to basically be a mentally healthy person. There's a lot to it. Frankly, if you want to have good mental health, it's a lifestyle, and you have to think of it as a lifestyle. It's not something that you can just do here or there. It's something that you practice pretty much day in and day out, just like any other types of right, like physical fitness. So in this video, right, I'm gonna drop one of those things that honestly, this is one of those things that if you can learn and understand and accept and embrace this one thing, it's going to save you a lot of trouble. And it's simply this, that situations and events in life are not in themselves distressing. Okay? It's our perception of those events and those situations that are distressing. So if you can change your perspective about life, about events, and about situations, deliberately and on purpose, it's going to do a lot for you. It's done a lot for me. So I consider myself to be someone who's pretty well put together. Like, I feel like my mental health, especially these days, is doing pretty good. Like, I don't advertise it out a lot out there. I don't need to. Well, I'm doing pretty good. This is one of my secrets. This is just one of those things that I have found to be enormously helpful and true, is that I have to learn to change my perspective about life and about events and about situations. So what I find, for example, is a lot of people, they almost kind of carry around this belief that life is not supposed to be difficult or challenging or uncomfortable, or it's not supposed to be painful. It's supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be simple. It's supposed to be painless. And that's false. That's an evil, sick lie that I think has been sold to us so that we'll buy stuff. Honestly, right? Like, I mean, you tell me, right? What effect has decades and decades maybe of aggressive marketing had specifically on you? Right? And if there's one thing that everybody's trying to sell us, it's that, oh, if you buy this, your life will be easy and comfortable and pleasurable, right? Right? Or one or all of these things. And and life is not supposed to be that way, my friends. It's not supposed to be easy. It's not supposed to be simple. I take that back. Simplicity is different. I believe that life absolutely can and should be simple. Just meaning not complicated. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be difficult. It's not going to be comfortable. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's not going to be pleasurable. It will be at times. It's going to be painful. A lot of the time. Understand that that's just how it goes. But I've learned something interesting in the process, that the pursuit of what was the quote? The pursuit of good is a negative experience, right? The acceptance of negative things in our life is actually a very positive experience. And so what's interesting is it seems like the more that people pursue comfort, I'm making sure you can see my fingers, comfort and ease and pleasure, and the more that you insist that those three things take up more and more space in your life, honestly, the more miserable that you're going to become. And this is just one of those perceptions on reality that's just skewed and off, and that I see pervasively across the board, that's causing people to be mentally ill and destructive, right? And to be destructive in their own lives, and to be destructive in the lives of others and the world around them, is they think it's supposed to be easy. And it never has been for anybody, and it never will be for anybody. And so, truly, learning to change your perspective on situations, learning to change your perspective on life, is the key. That's really what has opened up a lot for me, and we see these examples all through life. Lots of great teachers. Viktor Frankl, he was in a Nazi concentration camp. and he wrote a book, Man's Search for Meaning. It's a very powerful book, and he left a very powerful, lasting impression on a lot of people. And it's a short read. I recommend it. Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. It's a very important read, and understanding that we find we do. This is one of those truths to life. We find a lot more peace and happiness and just a lot more contentment when we accept that life has difficulties and that we can turn those lemons into lemonade. Sorry to be cliche and lame. I mean that's just how it goes. I mean, the older that I get and the more that I do my work as a professional and my individual work just as a human, I realize that this is enormously true. And the sooner we can embrace it, the better. Your job isn't to eliminate. This is where the rubber meets the road, my friends. Your job is not to eliminate, write this down, the negative, bad, painful, uncomfortable things from your life. Your job is to change your perception on those things, okay? And I know it's hard. I really do. I'm already like in my head. I can feel and hear the pushback. I just know that it's true, right? I just know that this works, okay? And Jocko Willink, for example, he's a self-help guy that I'm really into. I mean, I would say really into. I feel like I got that message from Jocko. I love him. He's a great guy. If you don't know Jocko, go look him up. He's got a podcast. He wrote some books. He's a former Navy SEAL. And he got into the habit, according to him, of that every time something went wrong, he would say, good, now I can. And then he would fill it with something else. Okay. This didn't go the way that I planned. Good, now I can. Right? Like, for me, the summertime is really slow work-wise. It always has been. People don't go to therapy as much in the summer. And it's been a struggle in the past sometimes because financially, but this year it's not. Thank goodness. I'm really grateful for that. But this year it's like, oh, I don't have very many appointments this week. Good. Then I can work on my content. I can work on my podcast. I can make YouTube videos, right? Good. I can catch up on some reading, and I have been. It's great. I love it. It feels wonderful, right? And so it's so important to learn to shift your perspective. It's a practice. It's a skill. You have to learn to do it directly with purpose and deliberately, and learn to build and practice this skill. This is just one of those things that you practice. Good mental health, practice. That's what it's about. It's a lifestyle. Okay? It's just like being physically fit. You don't get out of shape and go run a couple of laps and do a handful of push-ups and then wonder why things aren't better yet. You know what I'm saying? You have to put that work in. So realize that it's a matter of changing our perspective on things, okay? And I know that things are really, really dark for a lot of people. I'm not saying you do it overnight, and I'm not saying that it's really easy or simple. And a lot of people get angry and defensive when I put it this way, but radically, I think it's important for us to be honest with ourselves that things will come our way that can cause us suffering, and we can make it a million times worse if we choose to do it. And it's really on us to learn how to change how we think about situations, right? And so I said this in a previous video, get this nonsense out of your head that life is supposed to be easy, and like that life is supposed to be comfortable and easy and pleasurable all the time. Okay, learn to change your perspective. There'll be a lot more about this stuff down the road, so be sure to stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe while you're here. Help me get to 1,000, please. And go hit the tip jar, man. Go buy me a coffee. Link is in the description below. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.